a shot from the streets of Toronto right now, and Raptors fans have just flooded into the downtown core to celebrate 23 years. This franchise has been around. They've never been to the NBA Finals, and now just one win away from a championship, Dutch.
Yeah, they play out of the city of Toronto, but it's Canada's team.
Absolutely.
As we saw from coast to coast, they've enthralled an entire nation, and like you mentioned, now just one win away. They can wrap it up at home on Monday. If they do that, Canada is going to go crazy with more. Let's go to James.
All right, thank you, Dutch, alongside Chris Bosh. And that scene that you just saw there in Toronto, the same scene is here. There must be 1,000 Raptor fans to our left who have been going absolutely nuts since the buzzer. Chris, it's hard to believe. I think, you know, in a place, the Raptors' history, and maybe as Canadians, sometimes we expect the worst. And this team always does the opposite of the worst. To be one win away from a title, what does that mean?
Well, I mean, it just shows the journey. I think the whole 25-year journey of the franchise. Not only that, but you have to give credit to Masai Ujiri for instilling that championship, those championship thoughts into the organization, into the coaching staff and the players, and then the players for executing and doing what they need to do. Kyle Lowry's been, like I said before, the backbone of this franchise for the last 7 years. And he's from leading his team to a title.
It's just beyond the wildest dreams, even without Kevin Durant, that you would come to Oracle and sweep and potentially end this building with 2 Raptor wins.
Well, I mean, that's one of the things. That's why I kept saying the urgency of right now. Kevin Durant is a great player. The Golden State Warriors are a great team with the Splash Brothers. They can get it done, but the Raptors are very good too. They've done a great job getting up and into them on the defensive end and just playing their game and playing together.
Well, let's get to the 12 minutes that has caused this bedlam here and back in Canada. The third quarter, after only scoring 17 points in the first quarter, they outscore Golden State by 16 in the third. What happened?
Well, I mean, you just saw a great veteran team. They never get too rattled. They're very stoic in what they do, and they just kept playing defense. They missed some easy shots, but that didn't deter them from shooting the ball, sharing the ball, and trusting their teammates.
Kawhi hit those 2 threes to start the third, and they just went from there, played terrific defense. And that was essentially the basketball game. Lots more reaction and analysis ahead from Chris, Rod, Leo, Jack, but right now let's hear from the Warriors coach, Steve Kerr.
It's that defensive tenacity that we had in the first half.
Right, standing.
Coach Dan Devine from The Ringer. Uncomfortable position to be in, but not one you haven't seen before, down 3-1. What can you take from your past experience being on the brink as you try to get the guys ready for Game 5?
You just try to win one game. That's that's what we did a few years ago against OKC. Win one game and then you move forward. So that's our focus now. Is we'll fly to Toronto tomorrow and take a look at the film, see what we can do better, and try to win a game. We've won a lot of games over the years, so we'll try to win another one.
Third row over here.
CJ Peterson, San Francisco Examiner. Steve, obviously Kawhi's 36 really carried Toronto tonight, but Serge Ibaka's 20 really hurt you guys. You know, he's really active in the pick and roll. What was so hard about guarding Serge tonight?
He just got it going, and they did a good job in the second half of moving the ball and finding the open man. They hit 8 threes in the second half after we did a good job on them in the first. And so the ball started moving, and they found Serge, in the pockets and in the middle of the paint several times, and he had a great game.
Yes. Towards the middle.
Thank you, Coach.
Nate Duncan, Dunked On Podcast. Coach, this is the most that your defense has struggled in the series since you've been here. What's been the issue for you guys defensively in this series?
It's live.
We're playing a really good team that moves the ball. And I think we've had our moments defensively, but we haven't been able to string together the stops over the course of a game that we've needed to.
It's time for the Raptors
I give them
today.
the credit. They've just played really well offensively. You got a lot of threats out there, a lot of shooters, a lot of passers, and so they're playing well. And we've got to do better.
Phil, fourth row on the right.
Hey Steve, Phil Barber, Santa Rosa Press Democrat. It seemed like Steph struggled to find shots for a lot of the evening. What were you trying to do to get him shots, and in retrospect, could you have done more?
Well, we'll take a look at the tape. But we've been playing a certain style for a long time here, and the ball moves, and Steph's one of the great off-ball cutters in the league, and can play both on and off the ball, and so we're trying to mix up the different things that we do, and it wasn't his best game, but he'll bounce back.
Tim on the back left.
Steve, Tim Reynolds with the AP. Obviously, I'm sure it's a very down room right now for obvious reasons. How important is it to sort of find some morale in the next 72 hours? How important and how daunting do you think that task will be as you try to stave this thing?
I don't think it's daunting at all. We go to Toronto, and this is what we do for a living. We play basketball, so we look forward to playing another basketball game in an exciting atmosphere, and the ultimate test, NBA Finals. So I think we look at it as a challenge, and obviously we've got to lick our wounds tonight. Tough loss, but the game's a few days away. We'll have plenty of energy, and we'll be ready to go.
Again in the back, Ron.
Steve, Ron Krawczyk in the San Francisco Chronicle. You talked a little bit about Steph. Did the Raptors approach him any differently defensively, given what he did the other night? And obviously some of that is affected by Clay's presence. How did that sort of mesh? How did you think Clay played tonight?
Clay was amazing. I mean, with a tweaked hamstring to do what he did. Looney as well, coming in and playing 20 minutes. Given his injury status, both those guys are they're warriors, no pun intended. They just compete, and I'm really proud of both of them. Both played really well, but again, it wasn't enough in terms of our team effort.
Standing on your right, Monty.
Monty Poole, NBC Sports Bay Area. Steve, first half, you guys, I think going in at halftime, you're up 4. Was there a sense that you could have been up by more? I mean, all the turnovers that kept coming even in the second half. How much of that played a role in what happened tonight, just the turning the ball over and so forth, the empty possessions?
Yeah, I think the turnovers hurt us. We probably played well enough in the first half to be up 8 or 10. But that's not abnormal in the NBA. They stayed in the game with their free throws in the first half. I think they made 10 to our 2. And that kept it close while they were struggling offensively. And again, they start out the third with Kawhi hits 2 straight threes to give them the lead. And I thought there was a surge of energy for them at that point. And that was a really key moment, those first few minutes of the third quarter.
2 questions, third row, and then Jeff over here on the right.
Grant Cohn, Santa Rosa Press Democrat. Steve, you guys have to take 3 in a row now from a team that's taken 5 of 6 from you this season. Where do you go from here? How much better do you guys have to play to win this series?
We go to Toronto, and we try to win a game. It's as simple as that. So we're not thinking about winning 3 games. We're thinking about winning 1 game. And that's the task. So I know we're capable. We got a lot of talent, and we got a lot of pride. And these guys have been to the finals 5 straight years for a reason. They're unbelievably competitive, and
karon na nakuha na gid mo dun sa Toronto.
Fight the whole way. So
Raptors.
We'll go try to get 1 win, and if we can do that, come back here and see what happens.
Jeff on the right.
Toronto Bay Area News Group. Steve, one of your most competitive guys, obviously, is Draymond. Seems like he came out in the first half and was playing his brains out on defense. The second half, it looked like he lost this guy a few times. What did you think of his play tonight?
Oh, Draymond played. He played so hard tonight out there. The first half, the intensity level was incredible. Just to see the athleticism and the defensive energy by both teams, it was amazing. And Draymond's always right at the center of all that. One of the best defenders I've ever seen, and he's flying around and doing his thing and covering everybody, and then offensively, handling the ball and trying to distribute the ball to our shooters. And so Draymond always makes a huge impact on the game, and I thought he did tonight, but. Again, it was a group effort, and we didn't have enough as a group to win the game.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Steph and Clay on the